We talked about a few days ago, Jay-Z has been accused, caught up in the Diddy scandal as well. He denies the charges. A judge has ruled that the accuser of Jay-Z and Diddy can remain anonymous for now. Put up the picture full mass. I will give you the background and update. In an update to the story we brought you, Judge Analisa Torres has now ruled that the Alabama woman who says that she was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs when she was 13 years of age can proceed anonymously for now in her lawsuit against the moguls. In her written order, the judge also chastised a lawyer representing Jay-Z for what she described as his combative motions and inflammatory language against the plaintiff's lawyer, calling them inappropriate. And we read some of those statements here. The Manhattan jurist said the woman can proceed anonymously at this early stage of the litigation, but she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date if the case proceeds. That would allow defense lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare for trial. Torres also cited substantial interest from the public, making this a case of substantial public interest. In her lawsuit, the woman who says she was sexually assaulted at 13 identifies herself as Jane Doe. This is common and normative practice when filing a suit of this nature. She said she was living in Rochester in 2000 when she made her way to New York City and befriended a limo driver who drove her to an after party for the MTV Music Awards, where she says she was eventually attacked by both Jay-Z and Combs. Alex Spiro, lawyer for Jay-Z, asked the judge to dismiss the entertainer from the lawsuit, and he requested a hearing on the case for the day after he made his request in writing on December 18th. Citing an interview that the plaintiff did in NBC TV, the attorney wrote that the broadcast revealed glaring inconsistencies and outright impossibilities, end quote, in the plaintiff's story. For one thing, the woman said she traveled for 5 hours from Rochester to watch the music awards show on a jumbotron outside of the VMA, even though permits and pictures show there was no jumbotron at the event. The attorney also noted that the woman's father has said he does not recall driving from Rochester to pick his daughter up in New York City as she says he did. The woman has admitted inconsistencies in a story. Torres wrote in her order Thursday that attorney Spiro, who has been on the case less than 3 weeks, has submitted a litany of letters and motions attempting to impugn the character of the plaintiff's lawyer, many of them expounding on the purported urgency of this case. Referred to Jay-Z by his legal last name, the judge added Carter's lawyer's relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast track the judicial process merely because counsel demands it. Meanwhile, a new lawsuit against Diddy also. Philip Pines, who alleges he worked for Combs between 2019 and 2021, says the parties were called Wild King Nights. Pines is suing the rapper for sexual battery, sex trafficking, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, among other claims. In the civil lawsuit filed Monday, December 23rd, which was obtained by People, Pine said Combs instructed him on multiple occasions to set up his bedroom or hotel rooms with red lights, ice buckets, alcohol, marijuana joints, honey packs for male libido, the infamous baby oil, Astroglide, towels, illegal drugs, and of course, power banger sex machines. Pines claimed he was expected to be on call for the Wild King nights, which could last for days. On several occasions, Pines would receive requests to bring extra baby oil. They ran out. Astroglide, marijuana, sex toys, Plan B, Cialis, illegal drugs to the room. This man has a lot of details. States in the complaint, Pines claims that after the parties, his job was to remove drug evidence, to remove condoms, to remove sex toys, and bodily stains and urine from the sheets and the furniture. Bodily stains and urine. He also allegedly was instructed to delete incriminating videos from Combs' personal devices, including laptops and phones. Make sure no one spoke afterwards about the events, and provide large tips to the cleaning crews at the hotels to avoid house cleaning from reporting anything that would be later billed, according to the complaint. Pines claims he was Combs' personal lackey, and he threatened him like an animal playing fetch in order to prove his loyalty per the lawsuit. Pines also claims that Combs pushed him to have sex with a female guest. He also alleges that Combs had COVID-19 during his 51st birthday party, but kept it quiet, probably infecting his attendees. One of those celebrities became infected with COVID and called to inform them that he got COVID and wanted to ensure no one at the party had COVID. The complaint alleges Pine was instructed to keep quiet, that it was Diddy who had the COVID. So this is, when you read the lawsuit, when you read the entire suit, you get the impression that this individual may be named as an accomplice to Diddy. And sometimes, now I'm not saying it's factually relevant here, but it could be. But sometimes individuals will file a lawsuit like this, and I'm sure B Diddy was a jerk like he is to everybody else. We saw him live in living color during the making of the band. We know how he can be here, and he knew he was on TV doing that. So I don't disregard the story, but he could still, given what he has admitted to as a statement of fact in the suit, what he has admitted to, could be grounds for criminal conspiracy of action, which this lawsuit would provide some level of defense that he was under distress when he did it, that he was basically being forced to do it, or he was under some type of directive where he believed subjectively that he had no choice. All right. Okay. Trying to lay it all out. Wosny, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's in terms of the suit that the young lady has brought against Puff and Jay. If she has the goods, they'll probably nail those two on those charges. If not, then, I'm sure this thing will be dismissed. These kind of things happen all the time, honestly. People bring lawsuits against prominent people and it just doesn't work out. However, the stuff with Puff and the parties and all of this stuff, man, obviously these parties seem pretty out there, pretty crazy. Unless the feds or anybody else can prove that this guy, drugged people against their will,
Yeah.
and had them perform acts under the influence that they don't know what they were taking, which obviously I think, lock that dude up and throw away the key. But if the feds are just like, this guy ordered prostitutes and had drugs there for people to do at sex parties, I'm just not seeing, what the big deal is here, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, and that's the line of dissension,
For
right?
me,
Right. And it should be for everybody, just every free living human being. Whatever adults decide to do, that's between the adults.
wild as it may be.
Why? Yeah, that's between them. They're grown. But this becomes an actual criminal matter, a real federal case, when you have, if you have forced drug, if you have the trafficking of minors, if you have individuals who were forced to engage in sexual conduct. All right, we'll bring updates as they come, as we always do.